Hi, everyone, and welcome back to our show. Today, I have one of my favorite chartered accountants on the show with us. I have been waiting to get him on board, and we go long back. We'll tell you the story. But to introduce you, we have CA Hrudyesh Pankhania sir with us. So, sir, before we begin with our conversations, if you, in your own words, can tell us more about your journey as a CA.
Sure. First of all, thank you so much, Parinita ma'am, for having me on this show. And let me tell you, I was inspired by you on day one when we met, at ICAI BKC long back, when we both were teaching GMCS courses. And even now, with every post of yours that you put on LinkedIn, it's always inspiring. Thank you so much, first of all, Parinita ma'am, for having me on this show. And in fact, congratulations for starting something of this sort. You know, which gives possibly the students, maybe other members, a looking to listen something more inspiring from the guest as well as from you. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
To quickly give you a very short brief about me. Hello everyone, I'm CA Hrudyesh Pankhania. I've been since the last 12 plus years, I've been a mentor trainer for students. Apart from teaching academic courses, I have more been a soft skill trainer. So I've been mentoring students for examinations related, post examinations on public speaking, presentation skills, group discussion, personal interviews, all of those, including their career guide, everything. Apart from that, of course, I've been a practicing chartered accountant as well. And I've been a professional anchor and a choreographer and event manager. And to add to that, I've been a regional council member at the WRC of ICAI and was very thankful to all these students, who got me here. So that's a very brief, short profile about myself.
Oh, wow, that's like an ocean of talent that you have. And we've always admired you for this. And top of that, the best thing about you is the energy that you carry with you. In spite of having so many roles in your life, you are still so enthusiastic and always, and I've seen you always being so supportive and upcoming with answering all the questions, because members and students always have are full of questions. So I love that fact about you. um so you just mentioned, about you being a regional council member of WIRC ICAI. That's a Western Regional Council. So my question to you is, if you could explain, because not a lot of CAs are aware of what is the kind of role that you play as a regional council member with the institute.
Okay. So let's understand the institute. If I have to very give you a brief, so it works in the same manner that our country works, possibly, right? So in our country, we have member of parliament at Delhi, and all the MPs decide together who's going to be the prime minister, and every state has all the MLAs, and all the MLAs together decide who is going to be the chief minister, right? So institute works in the same manner. So there is something known as central council, then there is known as regional council. There are five regions across India: West, East, North, South, and the Center region. And then there are branches, right? So at every place, there are elected members who run the show. So there is always a staff at ICI who is there to do, the admin execution work. But these elected members try to bring a new thing, maybe a new idea, of maybe doing things at the institute level, of how things can take it to the next level. That is what happens. So every regional council member, if I have to say, is trying to represent their own members and their own students. So I think one of the foremost duty, is supposed to be help every member or a student, who's there from that region or maybe any other region as well. Because that goes duty, because you are elected member representing them. So I am every other CA member who is there, I'm just representing them over here in the institute, or every other student for that matter, उनके बदले में यहाँ बोल रहे हैं. That is what it is. So possibly if I have to look at maybe tie-ups with the governments, maybe the study courses, maybe a lot of events and seminars happening. How do you any new thing coming across, by the institute, by the government? how could you spread that to number of members, number of students? That is what is the institute's role going to be. So look at varied seminars, varied, shows which is going on, courses. So that happens to help the students and members. And you can always bring new flavor to it, how differently that you could do and connect the members and students. I think that is, something which is in short the role.
Wow. Okay. I love the way that you connected the running of the company with the institute. It becomes very easy for audience to really understand, So thank you so much for that. So we've heard, or we know very less CAs taking up this responsibility of being a council member. What made you do that? What inspired you?
I think the way back it goes to in one of my class way back some years back, while I was taking a session on ethics and something of that sort. And a student said, Sir, aap itna bol rahe ho, why don't you contest institute election and get into the institute? And I'm like, definitely, why not? Let's try this as well. And I was like, chalo, let's do this. So I think I contested, God's grace, ho gaya. So my objective is very clear to make sure to help every student and member that I can do to my best. One thing, see, you cannot, make, possibly you cannot make happy to everybody, right? Because each one of us may have a different expectation.
Right.
But what can you do to help the mass, in general, in totality, how different things that you could do? I think that is something that we've been trying to do.
Wow. कैसे एक line by somebody, one line and life changes, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I was like, ये तो करना ही पड़ेगा, ये नहीं करेंगे तो कैसे चलेगा? So, I thought let's just take that, leap of faith and try doing this as well.
Hello.
And I think it's, hello.
Yes, yes, please,
Yeah.
please.
And I think it's a great feeling and experience as well. A lot of new things to learn. You because interact with all like at regional council at Western region, there are 21 regional council members. So everybody's coming from a different expertise, everybody's coming from a different area to interact with them. It's an altogether different experience, which is amazing, I would say. So a lot of new learnings in the process.
Wow. If you can name two learnings.
I think number one learning I would say is adaptability. How you become adaptable to varied situation because you do not know what situation is going to come to the in the next way. Like you're organizing an event and somebody is not there or there are various protocols that you have to follow. You do not know how can you handle that situation there. I think that is number one thing. The second is calmness. I think one of the very important factor is quite possible if it's your own company, right? You would want to do anything and everything because you're a sole decision maker. But that would not happen in a democracy, right? We're living in a democratic country. Possibly I may have a different point, you may have a different point. The most important thing is how do we bring about that, negotiate well, see what is best, and try to find a resolution midway to that. I think that is what I've learned the best way in these, 1.5 years.
Wow. Thank you so much. Sir, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just talking from my observation, but you being the council member, I think you will have the right view about it. But what we've seen is, say, if we have 1.5 lakhs or 2 lakhs practicing CAs, right? Not even 20% of the lot are really connected, or if I put it this way, are very active with the institute, in any way. Of course, they attend seminars or, events and all. But if I say they're really well connected with the institute or being active in some way or the other, that's not happening. Okay. And why I say this, because I recently observed this firsthand. We've always heard about this, but about the, alumni, the power of MBA alumni. है ना कि MBAs have good alumni connects, good network, and this and that. And recently, when my sister graduated from a MBA college, from international MBA college, I could see the power of alumni, how they really help you. Not even, and I'm not talking about just jobs or something. It is also the knowledge sharing, the experiences, and everything. We are in fact at an advantage from MBA where we have one single umbrella and all the CAs are under this. So what can we do to push that? To push that network and the community, build a stronger community.
Okay. So no, I would look at it in different manner.
Okay.
See what happens is comparing a course now. What happens? Our study pattern at and this I'm answering as a chartered accountant myself as a mentor as well. Our study pattern has been different than an MBA. At MBA, you spend 2 years in the college together. While you do a CA course, you do not do that very typically, right? You're not spending 3 or 4 year course together with 200, 500 people together. So I think that entire nature is of doing the course is very different. However, I would say a lot of networking or being connected is a very individual thing. How much I would want to be connected to. However, I have been seeing today, I think post COVID or in the last 5 years with the advent of the technology that we're having, there are so many networking groups across, which have built up, which has actually made a lot of, best way that people are able to connect to each other. We'll pick up a platform like a LinkedIn for that matter, right? I think LinkedIn has brought, it could be any network, it could be under a CA community, MBA community, or any other as well, which have brought people together. So I think that is something, which is of very important nature. So each one we'll have to draw after a point in time, how much would I want to connect to? It could be an institute, it could be maybe, some network groups. I think that is. But as you rightly said, the alumni connect will always, help to push things. So I think that is so. With this, I would definitely reach out to all the members, maybe students as well, to make sure to be connected, with the ICAI, maybe their nearest branches, maybe study circle, maybe their region. So definitely, or maybe, we're always available, maybe on LinkedIn to us as well. So definitely, yes.
Awesome. So if I talk from the perspective of a practicing CAs, why and how is networking important for them?
Okay. I think networking today, as it goes, network is your net worth. So for practicing CA, definitely yes. And the whole reason, if you look at institute or maybe other groups also, we've been doing a lot of events across as well, so that people come and attend. So that's a very core difference between a webinar and a seminar, right? So when you attend a webinar, you may just get a knowledge, but when you attend seminar, you get knowledge as well as you get the network to meet people, and nobody can replace, physical meetings to others. So I think that is the power of network, and specifically for practicing chartered accountants, when we pick up, it is always nice to know people of the same community, of maybe same work type they are doing, that could help them to grow their maybe work, practice, or maybe solving of the doubts as well. So I think definitely yes, it is going to be a boon for them.
Super. So like you said, even I have observed that for the past 2-3 years specifically, institute has been like, the at full pace in organizing events and at a large scale event. I'm not talking about the regular webinars, the seminars that we see, but large good scale events where people are networking. And um, thanks to young minds like you in the council. So how, what other than the events, how can institute play a role in the development of these practicing CAs?
Okay. Could you just give a little more brief about the question?
Okay, so say one way that the institute is helping practicing CA specifically is by organizing such events from two perspectives. One is networking, one is knowledge sharing. Okay, anything else that the institute can play a role in helping these CAs? Because I know there are a lot of things which CA Institute is providing, but CAs are not aware of that.
Okay.
Practicing CAs. If you
Correct.
can enlighten us with that.
So I think a lot of training courses, training certifications is something that members needs to see, which are available on the site as well, which helps a professional develop a specifically other field also, or maybe specialized in that particular field.
Right.
So lot of additional certifications are the one thing, which I think members should be aware, which are there on the, of course, website as well. So I think that is something which members should look forward and do and use that thing, because when an institute does, which is specifically for their own members, it's not a course which is done for anybody and everybody, right? When institute is doing, it's for specifically for that members who are, chartered accountants from the institute. So I think that is something in addition that members should look forward.
And I'm telling you from my personal experience, I had done the valuation course. It is such an amazing, the whole curriculum, the faculty that we get, they are very nice and very focused. Like you said, it's for CA. So the curriculum which is made, the faculties that we get are very, very customized. So please go ahead with that. One
Absolutely.
thing,
And I think just to add, absolutely. So anybody who's working in that, they are providing training. So somebody who's got a first-hand experience into that, he or she is providing training into that. So becomes very helpful to the members.
yes. One more aspect which, very, very, even today, very less practicing CAs are aware about is the networking firm concept that the CA Institute has come up with. If you could tell us a bit about that.
So networking firm concept is so that firms can connect to. So if you look at, we have a networking zone as well on the website of WIRC as well, in the newsletter as well. So where we list down a lot of maybe firms would want to connect to the other firms. It could be in terms of mergers, or it could be, in terms of maybe, one proprietary joining to other proprietors. So I think that is where it could help in, and we look at today's time, right? So it is the combination of, or possibly, the cluster, if you can make it bigger, it is going to be, helpful. It's like, if you're, let's say an example, if you're a proprietor chartered accountant and you're doing an audit or doing somebody for which is a small client, in the 5 years that company is going to grow, if you see. Now, you as a firm also needs to grow, right?
Right,
If you're still a proprietor and you're not growing, what is that company going to do? That company might change, right?
right,
Company may go to somebody else. So important is to connect and collaborate. Let's say if I am an audit expert, if you are a GST expert, somebody is a direct tax expert, why not come together and make it larger, so that an advantage, we call it 1 plus 1 is equal to 11, right? The synergy effect.
synergy.
So this synergy effect has to be there, and who better than us can, take that effect and advantage. So I think that is something which is helpful for members and should be done that.
Thank you so much for that, because recently I was talking to one of the practicing CAs and she was so blank about this concept. She was like, I don't know such concept or something. It actually exists from, the ICAI.
Correct.
I think this
So
awareness.
just yes, so just to add, I think every member, every student, a lot of times it happens, right? There are a lot of programs, and maybe a member does not know, maybe a student does not know, and they say we do not know. You look at social media of maybe an institute or maybe a region, WRC is updated with every event or everything that's happening. Or even if not that, I would request to every student and member, just visit website once a week
Once
for
a
15 minutes. Once a week आप decide कर लो every Sunday में ये चार, that is what I have been doing.
night.
Not because I'm a member now, but even earlier, because कभी social media updated, जब भी पहले social media का जमाना नहीं था. I have this कि every Saturday, every Friday, every Sunday ये 10 वेबसाइट अपने को विजिट करनी है. Nothing will happen कि 2 दिन में आपका इवेंट है मिस हो गया, right? There'll always be 7, 8, 10 days का lag रहेगा. So you can always decide every Sunday I have to visit this 10 website, 10 minutes each website, you're done. You can sort and make a planner for the 1 month entire.
Wow, sir, that's a great idea, because recently I think some event happened at Sara Star or something. I
Yes, yes.
missed it and I was so angry on myself. Why did I miss it?
In fact, I was wondering how come you've not come there.
Because I was not aware. Fault on my part. I don't know why I didn't see it, but I really regret not attending. So
I'll make sure the next time I update you.
please do. Thank you so much. Uh, so coming to, shifting a bit of a conversation towards something, my primary reason of calling you, because when I was going through these subjects, one person that came into my mind was you. So we have always heard about these values like ethics and integrity and honesty, and especially these values are very important for chartered accountants because we've been taught this and we have to maintain this for our clients. So, and I thought you are the best example because somehow I relate. I can sense that uh, values in you, in the way you, conduct yourself. So, what do you think are the what is the role of these values for a practicing CA in their journey? Not and let's keep this part apart that client ka information is confidential and all. That role is of course there. In uske alawa, what is the role? Why are these values so important?
I'll tell you. So I think one of the foremost major role that the moment somebody is a CA, right? It's a professional degree, and a professional degree specifically in ICAI is made under an act of parliament, an additional right that the government has given to the institute, which is passed on to every chartered accountant, of how truthful, he or she has to be there. So, meaning, let's say an example, you are a doctor. You have a moral duty of every patient coming to you, even at 2 o'clock or at 3 o'clock, you will not see the time. Correct? That is exactly the same thing if you're a chartered accountant. You've got that duty and you've got that right as well, which is bestowed onto you. That this is something is a special right given to you. Not everybody is a chartered accountant, right?
Right.
Out of this entire population, we are almost not even 4 lakh chartered accountants, close to that. So it is on us. How do you maintain those values to the core? So, right from ethics, integrity. So this is entirely something that we need to make sure it is something of that. So let's say I have to give an example of Gandhiji, right? He was very sure that he wanted independence, but only on basis of non-violence and only on the basis of truth. Correct? So we have to also, if you're a chartered accountant, these values have been put on us. So we have to make sure that these are the things that we will always uphold and do the work ahead.
Wow, I think I could never have explained the importance of value such beautifully. Like I said, I think I made the right choice. Okay. And one of the challenges, and when we're talking about ethics, we have code of ethics from the institute, which guides practicing CAs in how are they conducting themselves. And one of the challenges when we talk about marketing or growing their practice, how can we navigate ethically around the code of ethics and actually market our services?
No, so I think when for every practicing chartered accountant, code of ethics defines what you can do and what you cannot do.
Right.
So as far as every practicing CA takes care of that, anything else that you do is always allowed, right? If we look at let's look at firms over the years. Today we still have social media to make sure to reach. When the social media wasn't there were still chartered accountants who started a proprietary practice and took it higher and bigger, right? Social media came into existence or very popular in the last 4 years. So with the growing social media, you can still help yourself reach to that level. I think as far as the ticks you put it across, this is what I cannot do, this is what I can do. If you're able to do that, there is absolutely no problem. You can still follow every code of ethics and still be successful and still then market other things.
Wow. Okay. I think simplicity is the key for you, and the way you simplify things, I think that comes with being a trainer. You
I think that's common to us.
yes. People think that trainers are some people who are full of jargons and big words and big sentences. But I think it's the other way around. A good trainer will always simplify things and put it across.
I think that's a basic definition of every teacher, mentor, trainer कि आपको जो आपके लैंग्वेज में बेसिक लैंग्वेज में सिखा के जाएगा वो ही रियल mentor and trainer. I think that is what I think I have learned from my teacher and trying to pass it on to others as well.
Superb. So audience, take note. Or heavy words are not important. It's
True, true.
communication is बात समझ में आनी चाहिए.
करेक्ट है, करेक्ट. हेवी वर्ड से ना सिर्फ आप इम्प्रेस कर सकते हो या इन्फ्लुएंस कर सकते हो. आप सिंप्लिसिटी से इंस्पायर कर सकते हो, एंड आई थिंक आई बिलीव इन इंस्पायरिंग rather than just influencing.
Wow, super, super. Wow, I'm having a great time. Okay, so coming back to the marketing, how did you market yourself? And I'm talking about your practice as a CA. What steps did you take?
So I don't practice much. So more into trainings and everything. I don't practice much.
We
But
can
I
talk
think
on that aspect.
correct. So when I know my a lot of other friends who are into practice and everything, I think they are able to market by more of networking. I
Right.
think the moment you meet people, and it's always a word of mouth which helps, right? When you've done good for one, you automatically spreads the words to the other. And I think that's one of the core best marketing that is going to be there. For my all the other services also that I do as a trainer or anything, the word of mouth is always played the way for me. And I think that's the best medium always because that spreads faster than any other else, is what I
Yes, yes. So, first-hand references and word of mouth is the best way of marketing.
true, true.
You have been a trainer, like, we discussed you were the trainer at GMCS, and I think you are one of the youngest members in the council. So you are
Wow.
well connected to the young audience. Uh, if I can ask, what is your observation or what is your sense? What do you see as the sentiments of these young CAs into their sentiments towards practice, as a career? Because,
Correct,
पहले कैसे होता था, MBAs को MNC में जाना था and CAs को Big Four में जाना था.
correct.
That was the dream. But is it changing, and how are young CAs going into practice?
Okay. So I think I would look this at today practice has become very different and maybe not like earlier. Today's practice has become more of a startup and entrepreneurship, which
True.
maybe not was earlier.
Right.
So today, a lot of CA, a young chartered accountant, just do not want to do a job or maybe wants to do a job in the starting couple of years and wants to do something of his own.
Right.
He wants to make sure now we can call it a practice or not is on the term of the practice. So practice just does not mean that you're doing an audit and tax, right? Practice means anything and everything. आप अगर खुद का कुछ शुरू कर रहे हो एंड आपने जो नॉलेज लिया है सीए के कोर्स के टाइम पे एनीथिंग दैट यू आर एबल टू इम्प्लीमेंट एंड टेक इट फॉरवर्ड दैट इज प्रैक्टिस. And I think today's young minds, a lot of people are into that. There is somebody who may be, practicing maybe just in GST litigation, somebody maybe just in systems audit, maybe forensics, or something maybe different, or financial consulting, or something of that sort. So a lot of young chartered accountants are building upon that as well, which is amazing for, the next 25 years of ICI and India as well. When we talk about, India reaching to the 100 years and institute also reaching to the 100 years. Yes. We're in the
Oh,
Amrit Kal.
Amrit Khan. Yes.
And we've just, the Chandrayaan has also landed successfully. I think it's a
Successful.
major thing for the country.
A major step. Matlab, I was having goosebumps when I was seeing the video. Such a proud moment to be an Indian. I
True.
think, a proud, a period, a era for Indians. It's like we are arriving types.
Correct, correct. I think as the PM says or the president of IC also says, if there is any best time to be in India, it is this. If it is any best time to be institute as a member or student, it is this. So I think this is the best time that we are, CA and we are a part of India.
I agree. I agree because India, yes, of course, we are all seeing, but even the institute, like I said previously, the pace at which the institute is working and showing those efforts towards the members, it's credible, seriously. So, what we are that generation जो बहुत पहले का भी देख चुके हैं, अभी young Gen Z, we call it Gen
Gen
Z.
Z, yes,
We're seeing them also, and especially
correct.
as mentors and trainers, we are more connected to them. What two things that you like about them?
about the
Gen
Gen
Z.
Z?
Yes.
Okay. So I think the one thing that I will admire about Gen Z is they think fast. They
Right.
think fast and take decision fast. They're very quick, as you know, we possibly, when I look 10 years back, we will think, acha, ye decision le, nahi le, kya kare. We will spend a little, longer time. But they are very quick in terms of thinking and taking decision. I
True.
think that is one. The second, I think they are full of enthusiasm who wants to do a lot of things. मतलब while we may say कि बहुत सारी चीजें may not be good, but it is sometimes nice as well that they are open to ideas and are ready to explore, which was earlier not possible. We came with a set of mind, okay, कि ये करना है, ये करना है. Today the world is actually open, right? In fact, after doing CA, you should not restrict yourself, but you should become more open that now the world is mine. I have studied anything and everything in the course, and now I'm open to do anything and everything once again. Let me explore myself. I think that is the new generation very much onto that.
Wow. Such so one point, of course, was there in my mind also when we talk
Hmm.
about enthusiasm. Even I've seen they're really enthusiastic. And of course, what even I like about them is they are not afraid to
Hmm.
voice their opinion.
Yes.
We might feel, because we've come from that mindset, that it's not always good to cloudly say your opinion, but
Correct.
I
Correct.
think they come with a different set of mind, so it's
True. True.
okay.
Very correct. Very correct. I think they are ready to, answer.
They're ready to
So true.
answer. Okay, so on the ending note, sir, anything that you wish to say to the chartered accountants listening to us?
Okay. So I think one is any CA student who's there listening to us, or maybe any CA member who's there. I think you should not think much before doing something new. I think do not think, I think explore yourself. You're a young chartered accountant. Make sure to explore yourself. That's absolutely all right. We're all going to work for next 30 odd years, right? So in the start couple of years, if you explore yourself, do different things, it's absolutely all right. This is the age and this is the era. I think, to do different things and then take accordingly the decision, what we want to do in that. I think that is one message that I would want to. Second is, I think I would just request all the members to make sure that you are as much connected to the institute. Maybe it could be region, it could be branch, it could be central ICI, anywhere. Be a part. It could be in terms of attending. It could be. It's the same way when we were in school or college. तभी हमारा पढ़ाई मेन था एंड एडिशनल द वे इतने सारे सेल्स एंड कमिटीज होते थे कॉलेज में.
Right.
That is where the learning happened. I think you're also, when you come to the institute for maybe seminars, sessions, you're able to connect to people, you're able to learn something new out of your different little time. I think that is something which I would want to tell each and every member. And once again, as I say, as our ICA president sir also says, if there is any better time to be in the institute, it is this during the Amrit Kal of the India and the ICI. The ICI starts with I and ends with I, and the I stands for you yourself. शुरुआत भी आपसे और खत्म भी आपसे ही हो रहा
Right.
है. This is what our president sir says, and I think that is beautiful way of portraying ICI. It's like the I am the I in the ICI.
Wow. Thank you so much for those words, inspiring each and every viewer or listener. We really need to be a part of something which is going to be so big and so memorable for each one of us. And it's not about only growing, as a career or as a CA. It's also about learning, building those connections, network, and having those, I've also built so many friends in our fraternity. So it goes all the way. So thank you so much, sir, for being with us, sparing your precious time, because I know you're in the institute, and taking that time out is very difficult. So thank you once again.
No, no. In fact, thanks to you for having me, and please keep doing these amazing videos. It's a treat to watch, all the other videos, podcasts as well. And thank you so much for having me. And
Thank
meet you
you, sir.
soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.